And welcome back to Asian Pacific America. I'm Robert Handa. I mentioned at the top of our show that this week is a big week for the community and an especially delicious treat if you're a member or supporter of the Bay Area's Japanese American community. The Japanese Cultural and Community Center of Northern California, known as the JCCCNC. That's 3 C's in a row. You have to remember that or you might end up at another type of cultural celebration, one with much less exotic Japanese food. Now on Saturday, September 20th, the JCCCNC will hold its Tabemasho Matsuri at its facility on Sutter Street in San Francisco from 4 to 8 p.m. Now we're giving you a sneak peek at some of the great food to tabe at the event. That means to eat. The event features food tasting from renowned Bay Area chefs and restaurants, including tastings of popular ramen broths and noodles. And for many people, that's enough right there. So to tell us more about the organization and its people and how they serve the community, we are joined by Chris Hirano, volunteer, as well as the Development and Communications Director, Aya Ino. Welcome to the Asian Pacific America show. We are going to talk about the food that are the stars of this event, but first let's talk about the JCCCNC. As I said, a lot of C's in the title, including culture and community, but it really is, and here comes the last C, literally and figuratively, it is the center of Japantown, right?
Absolutely. You know, even though the Japanese community has been a long time a part of this country, over 100 years, presently there's only 3 remaining Japantowns in the United States, 2 of which are here in the Bay Area. And San Francisco's Japantown is right smack dab in the center of San Francisco. And, you know, our community leaders back in the 70s when we were founded really wanted to establish a facility in place for future generations that, because of what happened during World War II and a lot of the changes after then, could never be taken from the community. And so today we have a wonderful facility with over 80 programs for youth, seniors, community events like the food event that we're having coming up, but also recreation and social. We do basketball programs, we do traditional Japanese classes. We also do youth leadership groups that do exchanges with Japan. So though the community has changed, you talked about the diversity over the years, we know that the center will always be at the center of Japantown.
Yes, and for people of all ages, which is really impressive in those programs. Now, let's take another look at our famous Asian Pacific America display table. I mentioned the ramen, which, let's face it, it is popular beyond any one group. But Aya, what else are we looking at, and how significant are these foods in the Japanese culture?
For sure. The one we're looking at right now is the manju, or the sweet rice cake filled with anko, or the red bean paste, actually. The one we're looking at right now is from Benkyodo, which is one of the very first businesses to be established in Japantown, founded in 1906. We see some of them. The suwama mochi is the colorful one in the back, and we see a imo, or potato manju, as well in front of it.
Japanese food is very colorful and fun to look at, huh?
Beautiful.
Let's take a look at some of the other things on the table here. What do you see there, and what can you tell us about it?
Let's see, what else do we see here? In the back, we have a bowl of ramen, actually. And at our event at Tabemasho on the 20th, we'll be serving tasting-sized portions of ramen. This one in particular is from Shalala, located in Japantown on Buchanan Street as well. And along with that will be 6 other ramen vendors as well. And the one we're looking at right now is the chirashi sushi, or chirashi literally means scattered, so scattered sushi, actually. You'll see sushi rice embedded underneath the cubed tuna and eggs and octopus on top of it. And that will be provided and prepared by some of our very own Japantown community chefs.
You know, growing up in the Bay Area and around a lot of Japanese families, it's always interesting to me is that growing up, I never thought of ramen and sushi as being all that exotic. It's sort of interesting how it's adopted and almost treated like such an exotic food, and for a lot of Japanese families, it's almost like kind of standard fare, huh?
Absolutely. And, you know, ramen has just gone crazy now. You can't walk around any parts of the Bay Area and not hear somebody talk about ramen. So I think it's part of the diversity and the changing nature of, you know, we just kind of go with the flow. I can't cook a lick, but certainly, you know, taking people out to a Japanese restaurant or a noodle shop, it's something very special about connecting with new people and introducing them to a part of your history and family is something really easy to do. And we hope that people come out on the 20th and enjoy.
How about when they come out, what are they going to see?
Oh, they're going to see a crowd of 400 guests and 250 volunteers. And what better way to celebrate, you know, our annual event or annual dinner than to host a big party at our own facility, basically. And
got to invite people to come down, huh?
for sure.
Well, it doesn't get more satisfying than this. And in our family, we used to say "Goto-sama" after a meal, and now I feel like saying it after this segment. Our thanks to Aya and Chris, and thank you for bringing enough for everybody. The JCCCNC, it gets easier the more you say it. They will be having their Tabemasho Matsuri Saturday, September 20th. I will be emceeing the event, so I'll be bringing my microphone and my hashis, those are chopsticks, and hopefully we'll see you there as well from 4 to 8 p.m.